Welcome back to the KCX Podcast. We are still live here at MTE, and we have Kevin Davis here with Detailer's Helper and Maxed Out Man.
Yes, sir.
A man of many talents.
There you go. Thanks.
And many different businesses and companies, right?
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got 4 official companies and 8 brands right now going.
Do you fish?
What's funny is that I used to fish a lot until I moved to Montana and
Really?
then stopped fishing. Yeah.
See, I fished a lot ever since I moved out of the state of Georgia, which, well, I'm back in Georgia now, and I don't fish as much. It's crazy. But when I moved to Wyoming back in 2012, I started fishing a lot and fished in Washington, Oregon, and Montana. Did all that, loved it all the time. Moved back to Georgia. Never fish anymore.
I grew up in Oklahoma, so we would do crappie fishing and bass fishing and all that. And then I learned how to fly fish on world famous spring creeks.
Okay.
So there's a fly fishing movie called The River Runs Through It. So all of those scenes and most of the fish are from the streams that I learned, the spring creeks that I learned how to fish on.
Yeah.
There's a fly fishing movie?
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
He's really young.
Brad Pitt. I don't remember who else is in that. Tom Skerritt, maybe something like that.
So, yeah.
So
is it like a Remember the Titans kind of thing, or is it?
No, it's like a family drama kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's shot in like the 1920s, 1930s. But yeah, it's heavily centered around this family that uses fly fishing as like relaxation and.
I get that.
Yeah. So.
Fly fishing seems cool. I can't stand fishing. I hate it.
Well, it's the exact opposite. So fly fishing. Normal fishing, rod and reel, you use the lure propels the line.
Yeah.
And in fly fishing, the line propels the fly.
Yeah.
Which the flies are super tiny. So
Yeah.
it's more artistic.
It looks way more fun.
It's
but like fishing, I can't stand it.
I mean, if you're throwing it out and letting it sit, yeah, that's sort of boring. But if you're jigging's fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of noodling?
No.
That's awesome.
So I grew up in Oklahoma.
Awesome.
Red River, stick your arm in there, you wiggle your little middle finger and pull out a 40-pound catfish.
I would do that.
No, I'm not doing that.
Dude, I would 100% do that. That's awesome.
Honestly, he's gonna be big as him.
Yeah. Dude,
there's a lot of girls. There's a lot of girls that do it.
That's crazy.
I only know one famous one that does it. So the main one.
Is
Miss Hannah.
As part of her OnlyFans, or what are we talking about?
No, it's just Hannah. We all know Hannah, right?
Did you ever hear why they had to cancel that River Monsters show? Because he caught everything.
He ran out of stuff to catch.
Yeah.
Nice.
They would go out to shoot, and he would catch stuff, and it would be stuff they already shot. And eventually that happened so much, they were just like, must have gotten everything.
Not worth it.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
Well, let's bring this back in.
All right, yeah.
Talk a little bit more in depth about Kevin here. So you're from Oklahoma, correct?
Grew up in Oklahoma, yeah.
So, all right, detailing industry. How did you get involved, and where did that start?
So it's a lot, like, dude, it's 30 years, right? So we have to truncate this, or else the podcast will be 6 hours long.
Give me the short version.
Background: I have a degree in exercise physiology and a second degree in business, and so I ran huge health clubs. Literally had my first club when I was 21 years old, which is nuts to give a kid that has no idea. Like, I was GM. It's a 50,000 square foot facility, huge.
Sorry to interrupt. Health club, like a gym?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a gym.
Okay.
So, but we were in Scottsdale and Phoenix. We did about 2,500 workouts a day, which is a lot of people. Like, Charles Barkley was one of the members, David Spade, some of these guys would come in. But anyway, and then I'm old, so I'm back in the .com days, back in when all that VC money was flying. So I helped grow a startup in the fitness industry that was also in technology, back to from 18 to 250. So, and then started my own web development company, did that for a long time. And here's where people make a mistake in business. I had about a $300,000 a year contract that we were working on. And keep in mind, this is like 99 to 2001. No, the tools we have now don't exist. No Shopify, no any of these kind of things. So we actually built this custom database program for a set of bookstores where we tied everything together. But the problem is I was making so much money and so busy on that I kind of forgot that I have to have more clients after that ended. So when that kind of came to an end, started coming to an end, I was like, oh crap, what can I do? Well, I've built hot rods since I was 12 or 13, always detailed them. I've done painting, I've done all that stuff. And so I was like, all right, I should just detail. And so I started the business, and I've always said I'm a much better business guy than I am whatever industry I'm in. Like literally you put me in, I can open a new fishing store, right? It doesn't matter because it's all the same thing. Sales, marketing, process, everything. And so when I started detailing, we did it really well. Probably 80% of our stuff was interior work, which always cracked me up because people whine about interiors. I'm like, you know how much money I made on interiors? Like, depending on where you live, if you live anywhere above I-10, if you look at a U.S. map, I-10 and above, you should definitely be doing interiors. And so from there, then detailer's helper. The story goes, I was doing a 69 GTO judge for Barrett Jackson. I had just finished the rear quarter panel, which are not really because they're unibody, but put my feet under the door, and I was like, where the hell is all my stuff? It was all back at the back bumper. I'm like, there has to be, and I'd done DIY electricity, like I build my own stuff, and I was like, what is going on here? And so I sewed the first one. I saw Rupus made one, which, not to downplay Rupus's version of the belt, but it's a black Makita tool belt, which means it has rivets on it and all this stuff. I was like, I definitely don't want that. So I sewed the first one on my wife's sewing machine around all the products I use, and that's literally the same one that we've been selling. We have a second version that's a little bit upgraded. And then from there, it just kind of took off. I have 4 brands underneath those belts. We do a private label version for SC Johnson, the Windex guys. And then I do coaching, consulting, and then Maxed Out Man is a whole different animal too. So
whenever you started doing interiors, where were you at the time?
Montana.
Oh, you were in Montana.
Yeah.
So, see, Brandon, I tell them all the time, see, that's when I was up there, I mainly did interiors. It's like the company Swiss.
Yeah.
Swiss.
Yeah.
They would call me. They were busy. They don't want to deal with it. They send all the interior work to me.
Yep.
Like the nasty interiors they didn't want to do. Those are the ones I got. And as we both know, both in Montana, those interiors are bad interiors.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just horrible. Everybody's got dogs up there, and it's
Yeah.
just dog city. But
I was doing mobile at the time. When I first started, I was doing mobile. I'm trying to build a business, and I went out and did this job, and 35 miles from my house, show up, and the lady had been transporting her pet goats. And I was like, dude, if I was not already here and it wasn't such a far drive, it looked sweet if I was done. But if you have not, hand cleaned goat poop out of an interior of a car, don't complain to me.
Dude, you couldn't pay me enough money.
Cow poop.
No, I'm not building
Not
that.
an interior guy?
No.
The turnaround is so good though.
Exactly.
Like you can get your light
So
out
rewarding.
when you shine paint or whatever. It takes a little bit of looking. With an interior, you could literally, people will be like, I cannot believe that
No,
this
that's
looks
what-
the way that
That's
is.
exactly what I tell him.
No,
all the time.
I much prefer the after and the gratification of paint correction than I do interiors.
Yeah.
As like decon and paint correction, like I'd rather spend 6 hours doing that than 6 hours doing an interior. I think the after on paint is so much more rewarding.
Interesting.
But I also, I'm going to keep telling the story. But I was just a car guy, and I had an S2000, and that was the car that I cared about how it looked, because I'm used to going to car meets and you just see the outside of people's cars, and they're cool cars and whatever. That was my foray.
Yeah.
I don't care, like really, if you have like a S2000 or a Corvette or a GTO or something, I don't care if the inside's clean. The outside is kind of what I'm in it for, because I like cars.
Yeah, I think it's just different mind perspective,
Yeah, so I think, like I said,
in business in general, like for
that is different. If it makes money,
hobbyist, car guy.
yeah.
Well,
I'm not making any money. If it makes money, I don't fault you for that. I just don't enjoy doing it as a hobby. I don't think it's fun.
Well, and I'm
Interiors to a
just
certain
the
extent.
guy that tells people like, dude, why are you just giving away money? Because as we know, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a little ego in detailing. Might be.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know there is.
Sarcasm. But basically what we've done is we've transferred from ceramic coatings, like, I just do coatings and corrections, I don't do interior work, to now I just do PPF. I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't do maintenance washes. You don't put, first of all, they're doing paint coatings, but no windshield coatings. If you're listening to this and every car you do doesn't have a windshield coating on it, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Takes 10 minutes, makes you $100.
$100. Yep.
They have to come in 90 days later, tell them 60.
Yeah.
Like, so easy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like that's
It's one of
that's
the
what we've
easiest
done. Yeah,
sometimes.
the ego drives in our industry drives so many people to make bad decisions about their business.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy yesterday. I'm going to help him with some of my coaching. He does 4.5 million, and still primarily though because he was telling me the story. He went in to do this lady's new shower. They built a brand new house. She didn't want to use the showers until they were coated. So he goes in. They're going to do that. They bid that out. Well, as it turns out, they have these huge windows in this house that 100% need flat glass tint. So they're going to do that. They go through the garage. There's a $250,000 jet boat in there. They're going to do that.
Okay.
He drives a Porsche. She drives a brand new Escalade. So literally this $2,000 job, because he offers all these services under the umbrella, 40 grand probably is what he's going to get out of that. But the point of that story is stop turning away money, figure it out, and don't have an ego. Like people with big egos, most of them are poor. So that's the way, that's kind of always been my philosophy.
Or make bad decisions.
Bad
Just in
decisions.
general.
I mean, if you're rich already and you have an ego, you've earned the ego.
Yeah.
If you're not rich or haven't made the success that you want to make, let's not even use rich. Let's just say if you haven't had the success that you've wanted to, then look at your business. And that's kind of what I do is I come back and I say, hey, this is all these are the leaks is what we look for is people's leaks in their business.
Nice. All right, super beneficial for sure.
I try.
So, back in the Montana, I have some questions just because I haven't been there in 3 years now. How's Bozeman? What's changed?
It's terrible.
Is it? Yeah, it was going downhill when I left. So.
Well, so during COVID, we had this thing. Have you heard the phrase Zoom Town?
Oh yeah.
So Zoom Town, Bozeman became a Zoom Town, which means basically people from California could sell their home for $2-3 million, come into Bozeman, and at the time you could buy a house for $700 grand, but they would offer $900 cash because they had it. And then that drove up the price. This will give you an example. I built my house in 2003 and I did all the generaling and all that, but it was probably worth, I didn't pay this, but it's probably worth $500 or $600 grand at that time in 2003. Then it's pushing 2 million now.
Yeah. Oh, I know because I sold 2 houses there, and I did benefit from the Zoom Town, which was great for me. But it's something I look back on now, and I'm like, but going back is going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder now than it was back in 2018 when we were there. I think we left in 2022, but just in those 4 years, I saw so much change.
Oh yeah,
just so much change.
Well, the infrastructure's not set up for it.
Yeah.
And if the problem I typically have with people, because everybody's come from somewhere, there's only a very fractional number of Montanans that have been there forever. Be Montanan then, which what we had was had a lot of California people that moved in, and I don't really care about what your politics are, but like if the politics of the area is one way, don't bring in what you're trying to bring your way, because there's a reason you left wherever you left. So, but yeah, it's still a beautiful place. We love it there. We're screwed this year because we've had almost no snow.
Really?
And so the whole state will be on fire. Literally, last year I had 2 feet of snow in my yard.
Yeah.
Now I literally have nothing. It's crazy.
I think so. When I left in 22, that 22 winter, basically the early time. I left June, so I left mid-year. But that was a pretty rough winter because I managed the FedEx there in Montgomery.
Yep.
And I think I was telling the story maybe to Brandon or somebody the other day that there was days where I'd called my senior management level guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to not be in office today because I'm going to be getting people unstuck all day because I didn't like paying for tow trucks.
Right.
Because that hurt my, end goal for the year, and I just didn't want that. So I'll just go out and tow everybody.
Yeah.
But,
nice.
So you'd see people getting pulled out in the Tundra all the time. Actually, it is Mountain Town Detail Tundra.
Nice.
Because did you ever see my Tundra?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think you did.
No. Yeah. So last year we hit 68 below at the airport.
Yeah.
And which is cold. And this year, it's literally in 50s. It's been nuts. Yeah. So, it's good for walking the dogs and stuff like that, but it won't be, and it's been good for my propane bill.
That's going to be rough.
It'll be rough in the summer. Because when that happens, basically, so all the western states are seeing the same thing. So the whole western side of the United States will be on fire. And if you ever look at a weather map, the jet stream dips down into Montana. That's why it gets so cold there, but also brings all that smoke and just sits in the valley and all that stuff.
Yeah, Canada's going to have it out too.
Yeah,
So it's
it'll
gonna be-
it'll be rough, but we love it there. It's been over 20 years, and we're building. We had one shop we built. We just built another big ass shop. So, yeah, 3,400 square feet.
Nice.
Michelle and I, my wife, have done the whole thing by ourselves.
Wonderful.
So, except for we had some friends of ours come in and we did 69 cubic yards of concrete. It's a big ass slab.
Yeah.
9 trucks, took 9 concrete trucks and a pump to put it in. But everything else we've done, we built the roof on the ground and craned it into place, which was insane, but it was fun.
So did you guys go like super thick slab?
It's called a mono slab. So it's got 12 by 15 footings all the way around.
Gotcha.
And then where I'm putting my car lift, I put footings for that. But other than that, it's just a 4-inch slab.
Okay. I just built, a couple years ago, I built an addition, which was basically my garage that I have. And I did a 6-inch. So I went a little more.
Well, Georgia clay, you need a little bit more concrete because it just cracks even. I mean, concrete cracks, that's what it does.
Oh, yeah.
But then, and it's all, I meshed everything so it holds together well, but it's already cracked. I mean, it just happens.
It's just, yeah.
That's why they put the seams.
Yep.
That way you're basically controlling the cracks. But yeah, on that Georgia clay, that's probably a much better way to build a slab.
I'm gonna say, is that why you did 6? Because you don't have a lift. So what did you need more concrete for?
Mainly, honestly, mine was because, with the addition, my house was here, my garage is here, so I had to
Okay.
build on top of it. So we turned my old garage that I had into livable space. So we had to build a whole new garage. So we had to lift up the actual garage where previously add 2 more inches or 2 or 3, on top of that from where it didn't go into the house. Make that flat and then build up the other. So that's why it really ended up being even more and more.
Sometimes an extra 2 inches just makes all the
Hey,
difference.
that's all, you have to have it.
That's what my wife says anyway.
Man.
Bobby's over here dying. He's just laughing so hard. back
He's
there.
like, who invited that dude to this podcast?
Oh, man.
I have done 200 of my own episodes, and most of them do involve some sort of comment like that.
Great. Oh man. So all right. So you heading back home tomorrow?
I am going home in the morning. Just found out that Atlanta is going to get, at 0.1 inches of snow, and they canceled my flight.
Yep. That'll do
course.
it. That'll do it.
So now I have to fly to LA from, Orlando to LA and then up to Montana. And I lost my first class upgrade, which irritated me, but it is what it is.
Oh, boo-hoo. I got to fly to LA.
I'm talking to
Boo-hoo.
LAX is literally the
It's
worst place
the
on
worst
earth. That other than
okay.
other than Newark, I cannot think of a worse airport. And
LAX is a rough one, but it's probably warm. I
so
like California, though.
I hate California. No offense to Californians, but like literally every time I have so many car guy friends in California, but literally every time I get close there, I just need to pull over and take a shower. But not a huge fan.
We went for a week a couple years ago around like West Hollywood, Santa Monica almost, and I loved Santa Monica. It was so much fun.
So how old are you?
27.
He's a young one.
Not married. Married?
I am married.
Married? Kids?
Nope.
No kids. See, that's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Like, not for me.
Yeah.
I'm 53. I'm old, and I'm like, I've seen enough homeless people and drug addicts in my life. I'm not going to go down to Hollywood Boulevard.
That's something I have to think about a lot. Is with him, it's being so much younger than me too. I just recently got into that older stage mindset. Like I'm 40.
Mature.
And, mature.
Sure.
I would say, really, honestly,
My wife tells me I'm a 12-year-old all the time, so
Oh,
I have yet to mature.
I know it's like our bodies are like crumbling, but maybe not yours, but mine maybe.
I work hard to keep it from
That's what I was
crumbling.
about to say. But yeah, so like I always tell my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, you act like a 10-year-old though," and I'm like, "That's good."
I was telling this story earlier. Every time I go to a party with my wife, first of all, I'm the reason we get invited, but the only reason we ever get invited back is because of her. Every party we have to, after we have to do a debrief, I'm like, all right, I was a lot, right? She goes, no, you're okay this time. But sometimes she's like, oh, you were absolutely a lot, right? Like that one.
We're not going back there.
We're definitely not. Because what I do is like this, right? You put me in a room where no one's talking or interacting, then I become the stand-up comedian. Like I'm engaging everybody around the room. I kind of go into this podcaster mode, for lack of a better chance, but it's crazy. But no, I'll tell you a story about LAX. We went there one time, and literally have you ever seen the Japanese subway trains where they have people do nothing but close the door and push people in so the doors will close?
No, but I can imagine.
You can watch them on YouTube. Literally, there are guys that stand at all the doors because they put as many people as possible. We were on buses like that coming around out of LAX. I was like, if I ever have to fly here again. So I'm luckily just making a transfer, so we're good.
Yeah, that's fair. We
Little
did that.
connection.
We did that one time. Me and some family went to Reno for the air races, and the flights were crazy. So it was Atlanta to Salt Lake City to Reno, and then from Reno to LAX to Atlanta. So we were in LAX for like an hour, and it was really hectic. But like I said, flying in to stay in LA was really fun.
Yeah.
Do you do typically? Were you supposed to go Orlando?
Atlanta. Yeah.
Take the direct back.
So I did some consulting where I did a bunch of television consulting. So worked with a production company and all that stuff, actually for G-Technic. And I would fly in and out of Tampa. So I've made this trip, 100 times. It's down here, and I'm going to try to do a men's event in April. We're going to rent like a 16-bedroom house, which is surprisingly cheap.
It is here.
Amazing. Yeah, it's like $900 a night for 16 bedrooms.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But so I come down here quite a bit. My daughter lives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So like we talked about.
So how did she end up in Atlanta then?
Because Atlanta's awesome.
What's funny is that it's actually Andrew.
Yeah.
So we brought her down to Serum Summit one year, which was 2020, which was the year of the snowpocalypse. I think that was 2020.
No, that was earlier.
Was it earlier? 2018, maybe?
2018. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
no.
2019?
Yes.
Somewhere in there.
Right, yeah.
Anyway.
He was in third grade, so no, I'm just kidding.
It went crazy. So she came down because she speaks 3 languages, English, sign language, because she's mostly deaf, and then Spanish. And so there's getting Juan Gonzalez,
Okay, yeah.
who I call the one and only.
The one, yes.
By the way, the one and only. His claim to fame is the only Mexican to be deported from Mexico back into the United States. You have to ask him about that story if you ever have him here. But she went down to help interpret and kind of be the English-Spanish interpreter whenever he did an all-Spanish class. So she was kind of there to help with all that. Well, Andrew was also a paramedic, and he was like, and she had just graduated with her EMT. And he's like, we need EMTs down here. So she decided to move to Atlanta, and we had a whole group of guys, Steve Printup, and all these like substitute dads in Atlanta for her. Like literally that would kill a guy for her, and they're like, you just call me, but that's how she got there. She was a paramedic for 3 years. She got her paramedic, and then she was on the truck for 3 years, but then she has a medical, she's born with no hearing in one ear. She was deaf in one ear, single-sided deaf, and then she has an autoimmune thing, so she's got about 10% of her hearing left now. So, but she speaks sign language and all that stuff, so that's good to go.
Nice. So, outside of the Montana state of things, you and Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm guessing G-Technic days? Is
Yep.
that where?
Yeah. Back in the day, it was, so I started with them. Eric Joseph wrangled me in to work for the company. And essentially what I did was I helped develop I kind of created the U.S. network for G-Technic. They had it kind of a skeleton, but we kind of changed a bunch of stuff and developed the network and the application process and all that. And so it was really the 3 of us that kind of built that company up. And so, Andrew and I was talking to Brian Lewis, who's a American Shine outside of DC. And we actually did a trip one year where we took Andrew's dad's Sprinter van and went on like a tour around the eastern United States. Went up to Chicago. Eric and I almost ended a kid's life and threw him off the balcony of a bar, which I don't drink. Neither's Eric, which is ironic, right? Great.
No drinking.
Another great. This kid was drinking, and we literally I don't get angry very much. And Eric was like, "Dude, I have never seen you that way." And then he put I don't know if you know Eric very well, but he put his finger in Eric's face, and I was like, "This kid's gonna die." Like that is not something you do. So anyway, but we kind of went all around the United States or on the eastern side of the United States. It was a blast, but we had a really good time. It was, young guys that I was the old guy, but younger guys and
Young at heart.
young at heart,
Young at heart.
young maturity wise.
There you go.
Just ask my wife.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, I appreciate you coming on, hanging out.
Yeah.
I think we have at least one more we have to do today. So
One more. Yeah. We better kick me off then. Yeah.
gotta kick you out.
Awesome.
Great to see you. Great to talk.
Thank you.
Got to talk more in depth today, a little more life stuff instead of just the hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's good.
anytime you want me to come back, I'm here.
All
right.
We appreciate it.
All
for
right.
sure.
You guys. Thanks.
All right. Well, until next time, guys, we're going to catch you guys on the next episode. So stay tuned for that one, and we'll see you then.
See you guys.